Hi, Gail here, and we're here to talk today about rewriting private label rights. But before doing that, I'd like to speak a little bit about what it is, what it isn't, and make sure that we're all on the same page together about what private label rights or PLR really is. It's content of any kind that it could be written content, audio content, video content that the original author is going to give you some specific rights. Now, oftentimes those rights look just like this. They're written in the positive, so can be given away, and then it says yes or no at the front. More often than not, private label rights, you have a greater leeway to do something with the content. But PLR usually means that you cannot sell PLR or master resale rights or resale rights to the content. And you can, I'm not going to take the time right now to go into what each of those things mean, but each of those things will come with specific rights so you can see exactly what you can and cannot do with it. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to buy some kind of content. And really today we're going to talk about written content. We're going to stay within the rights that the writer is selling. You're going to sell the content as your own and you're going to keep the profits. So it's sold multiple times. The quality is usually variable. You can get a variety of different types of quality of content. The price is usually low. And it is an easy entry level way of getting content for new marketers and usually also used by experienced marketers. To get the most benefit from content that's private label rights, you have to rewrite it. Otherwise, you're really duplicating content across the internet. But if it's sold multiple times and you have to rewrite it anyway, really, what's the benefit? Where do you get the benefit from using PLR? Well, there is actually a lot of benefits. We're just going to go over the top 5 or 6 here. The biggest one is the research. When you buy quality private label rights content, you should be getting content that's been well researched. Whether you're buying something in health and fitness or Forex or gaming or gardening, it doesn't really matter. If you're buying PLR, the original authors should be providing you with content nuggets, I call them. Basically, what it means is you can read through the article and pick out really specific bits of content that you can rewrite for yourself or expand on, and it's based on research. It's not all fluff. You have ideas. You can get a lot of ideas from buying private label rights content. It leverages your time and your energy, and it is usually very, very cost effective because it's sold for pennies on the dollar. Marketing online, we know, is all about content. And honestly, it's about your readers interacting and reacting to what it is that you are putting out, the kind of content that you're putting out on the internet. So why are we going to use private label rights? Well, because it's like using the Staples easy button. Creating content requires effort on your part, whether you are spending your hard-earned money, and that was an effort for you to earn it in order to buy original content, if you're writing it yourself, or if you're rewriting it and spending your money on something you're going to rewrite. Using PLR will reduce your workload. You're not going to start from scratch with a plain white paper or a plain white screen. You're going to be provided with some really viable ideas for content. It increases your output. Realistically, if you were a very fast writer, you could put out an original article in about 40 minutes. And that means doing the research, doing the writing, doing the editing, and you're done in about 40 to 45 minutes. But with practice, and that's with practice for writing your own, but with practice and using PLR, you can usually get one done in somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes and have it come up as original in Copyscape. So you're balancing about 1.5 maybe articles per hour versus at least 4 articles per hour. And that leverages your time because you're not doing hours of research for accurate content, and it lowers your overhead costs because honestly, your time is money. I know sometimes we like to think that, well, I'm going to do some free marketing and I'm going to do some free writing and I'm going to get my content for free because I'm going to do it myself. Well, your time is money. If you weren't spending the time writing the content, you could be spending the time, doing the marketing. And the marketing is what's making you the money. Or you could spend your money getting the ghost written, and at $5 to $50 per article, it can get pricey over time. But content is king. You have to have the content. So let's look at rewriting PLR articles and what we need to do in order to get that done. There are actually 4 different pieces of any article or any book for that matter that you have to address. You have to address the title, you have to address the opening paragraph, the closing paragraph, and the body of the content. When we're rewriting private label rights articles, we need to remember some copywriting rules. In the title, you have about 3 to 5 seconds to grab someone's attention and get them to read the first paragraph of your article. You want to use some action words or some power words in that title and keywords that speak to the reader. If you want a list, just Google copywriting action words or copywriting power words, and you're going to get lists and lists of words that you can use in your title that are going to grab the attention of that reader. Make it original. One of the places I like to go to get ideas is magazine.com. Magazine.com is a digital place where you can see all of the different offline magazines that are being published and are on the newsstands. Well, those titles and those headlines on the covers are very, very well researched, because these companies do not have the opportunities that we do. They cannot send out, or they don't usually send out, 1,000 different magazines, see what their open rate is, and then send out the remainder of them to get an idea of what's going to trigger their readers. So look at those titles, look at the headlines, read them, do not copy and paste them, but figure out what's triggering your target audience to pick up a magazine and read it. Address your opening paragraph. You can ask a question, tell a personal story, make a bold statement, make a controversial statement, maybe reference some new research that just came out. Don't use multiple I statements. And I know that that's a really strong copywriting rule, but in rewriting your articles for other people to read, really address the reader. Now, you're going to tell your personal story throughout the article or maybe just in the opening paragraph, and you do have to use I once in a while. But try not to start every sentence with I did this and then I did that and then this happened to me. But change the context, change the structure of the statements so that those sentences are, the people who are reading them are able to react and connect more with what you're saying, as opposed to reading an autobiography of what happened to you. Make the content an active voice. So take out the be verbs. So for instance, instead of saying the meeting is starting at 7 p.m., you can say the meeting starts promptly at 7 p.m. Make it more active, and that's going to engage the readers greater. Your closing paragraph should draw the article to a conclusion. It should have a call to action, should tell them what to do next. Maybe you want to tell a short story, and in that short story, you're going to tell them what to do next. Or maybe you're going to pull the story that's been woven throughout the entire article to an end at the end of the article, and then tell the people what to do next. You might want to refer them to another piece of content on your site and provide that hyperlink there so that they go deeper into your site to get more content. You might make a bold prediction or add a testimonial or leave the individual wanting more. Maybe you produced an article, and then in the closing paragraph you can say, hey, I'm going to publish the results of my experiment on Thursday. If I know you don't really want to miss out on this, so please use the box to the left or to the right and sign up for my newsletter, and I'll be sure and let you know when the results are published. Give them a reason to do whatever it is that you want them to do. And as you look at this, recognize that when you sit down to write your article, you need to have an idea in mind of what you want them to do. So as you sit down to rewrite your PLR article, do it with an idea in mind, a goal in mind of what you want your reader to do. Yes, it's great to give them content. It's great to give everyone content. And oftentimes I do that on my blog as well. I'll just give content, and that's just the way it is, and that's what I feel like doing today. But if you have more focus when you're writing, you're going to get more reaction and action from your readers. So maybe you're asking them to sign up for the e-zine or check out your affiliate product that you're promoting. Provide links for them that's going to show them what to do. And don't just add in a little hyperlink that says, PLR Health Wizard is the greatest health content in the world, and PLR Health Wizard is hyperlinked. That's not what you want to do. You want to ask them to do something. Click here to see the health and wellness or the health and fitness content that's going to make a difference in your business. So give them some action to take and give them a reason to take the action. The body of the content, include again your stories. You can weave it from opening to closing paragraph, use your own voice, change the order of the content or the sentence structure. Maybe include some more information that you get. When you get articles from us, there's going to be resource links within the articles that are going to give you more places to get more information so you don't have to do any more research. Merge two or more articles together. Really be excited when you sit down to write. Be sincere, because that comes across in your writing. Now, I do need to say here real briefly a couple of things. One, you don't have to put the call to action just in the closing paragraph. You can actually put it in the opening paragraph. Number two, a lot of people will do what they do with books. Or with big long articles, they'll read the first paragraph. They might read one or two paragraphs in the middle if it's really long. More often than not, they go to the first paragraph, they'll scan through, they'll maybe scan your subheadlines, and they'll read the closing paragraph. So if you don't engage them in the first paragraph, you're not going to get them to the closing paragraph. And you want to add a call to action in the middle as well, maybe for people who are actually reading through the article and want to do something immediately as opposed to waiting to read through the whole thing. How much rewriting is enough? Now, if you'd asked me that 2 years ago, I would have given you a different answer then as I would tomorrow. And that's because things continue to change. So I suggest and I recommend to my clients that they write for longevity, not just today. You want to anticipate the changes that the search engine algorithms are going to be made, and you want to be as white hat as possible in order to be able to get through the pandas and the penguins and whatever else that Google has in store for us in the coming months. So I have here a sample paragraph, and they're actually down below this video in the body of the blog. You'll see a copy of this sample paragraph that I took directly from WebMD, I believe this one was, and then I rewrote it, the paragraph. And there's a couple of different ways of rewriting. One is, obviously, it's going to depend upon the content you're using and how you're going to use it afterwards. But you can look at it sentence by sentence. So if you have short paragraphs and you want to just rewrite the sentences, you can do that. Or you can actually read the paragraph and then restructure that paragraph and write it in your own words. Or you can read the entire content and then rewrite that in your own words. It really depends upon how you want to use it and what you are most comfortable with. It does take some practice until you get fast. But honestly, anything that you do well is going to take practice. And fortunately, in this case, it doesn't take a lot of practice. This isn't Michael Jordan going from high school student to top basketball player. This is really a very realistic achievement that you can make, a realistic goal that you can achieve. So if you have any questions, feel free to use my help desk. The link to that is below this video. You can also take a look at the health and wellness or the health and fitness PLR that we offer at PLR Health Wizard. I'm a nurse practitioner by education. I produce most, if not all, of the content. I edit all of the content. All of the content comes with resources that you can use to add more information to your articles and they also come usually referenced to medical journals and research articles that support the ideas within the content. So I hope if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to write, and I hope you have a great day.